Right now, three market forces are coming together to ensure the decay of old industrialized economies. You can see evidence of this all over the place if you start tuning into what's around. These old economies are becoming more risky, less efficient, with lowering productivity. The market forces include social pressures, economic pressures, and the pressure from the development of new technology. When you have these three factors in place, it doesn't matter what century we're talking about, or what decade, the same things start to occur. Economic forces are requiring banks to print more money, to make more credit available. What does this do for you? The more money that's printed, the lower the value of the money you earn through wages. So for example, if there was only $1 million available in circulation and everyone was using that, then the government prints another million and puts that into circulation. The value of your money has just dropped by half. The amount hasn't, but the value has. You have to stay at work longer and work harder just to keep the same level of lifestyle. Social forces are rapidly changing people's financial spending habits. Those people that have certain skills and opportunities available are definancializing their life. They are deleveraging, which means they're trying to drive down debt by putting more savings into mortgages to build up their buffer. They're also seeking more ways to generate more cash flow, so they are not dependent on wages. It's one of the reasons why the growth of internet income has really started to arc up and is set to reach critical mass before it explodes through the S-curve, if you're aware of that. Technology forces are flattening existing business models and eroding old businesses. Old businesses are decaying as demand shifts from traditional retail and middleman industries. Recently, the biggest technology float in history was a company in China called Alibaba, which dwarfed the Facebook float. Facebook was the biggest in history at $13 billion, but Alibaba raised $22 billion. Here is a technology company that cuts out the middleman, taking supplies directly to companies and services that can buy in bulk through their website. It's somewhat similar to eBay. Once it gets a foothold, it will basically explode. New technologies are creating less risk, more income, more freedom, and more independence than ever before. The opposite is also true. Old technologies are creating less income, less freedom, and less independence, and are dying. Future growth in these technology companies has just started and has huge upside potential because these new technologies are knowledge-based. Unless you're investing in them in a passive way, there is minimal downside risk. Remember, this whole presentation is directed toward being active. Those transitioning from the old economy to the new economic ways are actually freeing up time. Not only are they freeing up time, they're feeling confident about the future. They're having more fun because they have more time, more independence, and they can actually do things that are really important. So, unlike wages and employers, new technology and enterprise allows you to personally control your outcome as opposed to debt and wages. By generating greater cash flow, you can actually close the gap between the future risks of the global financial crisis Mark II and your ability to be financially independent. Stay tuned for No Passive Way Through the Global Financial Crisis Mark II. Until then, it's bye from me.